My name is Elena Castellano, and 9 months ago, I got married in a beautiful ceremony overlooking the Pacific Ocean. I sent my parents an invitation with a handwritten note begging them to come. They never responded. No phone call, no text, nothing. My father didn't walk me down the aisle. My mother didn't help me choose my dress. They acted like the most important day of my life simply didn't happen. But 2 weeks ago, when I pulled up to my sister's engagement party in a candy apple red Ferrari SF90 Straydale worth over $700,000, my phone lit up like a Christmas tree. 17 missed calls. 23 text messages. My mother's voice on the voicemail was suddenly dripping with affection. "Elena, sweetheart, where have you been? We've been so worried about you. Please come inside, darling. We need to talk." 29 years of being treated like I didn't exist, and all it took was Italian engineering and a seven-figure price tag for them to suddenly remember they had two daughters instead of one. The look on their faces when they saw that car, when they realized what it meant, when my perfect golden child sister suddenly wasn't the star of her own party anymore, that was just the beginning of a night that would expose secrets, shatter illusions, and prove that sometimes the best response to being forgotten is becoming unforgettable. If you've ever been the invisible child in your family, the one they only acknowledge when it benefits them, drop a comment right now and tell me where you're watching from. Hit that like button and subscribe, because what happened at that engagement party and the truth I revealed that destroyed my family's perfect facade is a story about betrayal, redemption, and the kind of success that money can buy but respect has to be earned. I'm 29 years old, and I grew up in Newport Beach, California, in one of those Mediterranean-style mansions where everything looks perfect from the outside. My parents, Richard and Catherine Castellano, built their fortune in commercial real estate. Dad owns Castellano Properties, which develops shopping centers across Southern California. Mom runs an interior design firm that caters to wealthy clients. They're worth about $50 million combined, and they've spent their entire lives obsessed with image, status, and maintaining their position in Newport Beach society. I have one sister, Gabriella. She's 26, and from the moment she was born, she was everything my parents wanted. Stunning, with perfect features and thick dark hair. Charming in that effortless way that makes everyone love her. She got a degree in fashion merchandising from USC, and now she runs a successful lifestyle blog with over 2 million followers. She's engaged to Dominic Ferrara, whose family owns a chain of high-end Italian restaurants. Gabriella is my parents' pride and joy, the daughter they show off at every opportunity. And then there's me, Elena, the older daughter who never quite measured up. I wasn't ugly growing up, but I wasn't beautiful like Gabriella. I was average. Plain brown hair, features that were fine but forgettable. But worse than not being beautiful, I wasn't interested in the things my parents valued. While Gabriella learned about fashion and entertaining, I was more interested in books and understanding how things worked. I loved language. Not just speaking it, but understanding the structure, the patterns, the way different languages reflected different ways of thinking. By 14, I was fluent in Spanish and Italian. By 16, I'd added French and Portuguese. I taught myself Mandarin through online courses. Languages made sense to me in a way that small talk never did. My parents thought it was a waste of time. Languages are fine as a hobby, Elena, my mother would say. But you need to focus on things that matter. Your appearance, your social skills. That's what opens doors in life. When I got accepted to UCLA to study linguistics, my father actually sighed with disappointment. Linguistics. What kind of career is that? Gabriella is studying something practical. They came to my high school graduation, but left immediately after without taking photos. They were too busy planning Gabriella's 18th birthday party. When I moved into my UCLA dorm, they dropped me off and left within 20 minutes. When Gabriella went to USC 2 years later, they rented a hotel suite for a week, hired a designer to decorate her room, and threw her a going-away party. Every holiday, every dinner, every conversation revolved around Gabriella. Her Instagram likes, her blog partnerships, her relationship with Dominic. I would sit there invisible while they discussed Gabriella's life in exhaustive detail. "Did you see Gabriella's magazine feature?" my mother would gush. "She looked absolutely stunning. When I tried to mention my thesis on language preservation, my mother would give me a tight smile. That's nice, Elena. Pass the bread. Nice. Always nice. Dismissive. Forgettable. I graduated UCLA with highest honors. I'd been accepted into a doctoral program at Columbia, but I also received a job offer from a tech startup called Global Connect. They were developing real-time translation software and wanted someone who understood languages and cultural nuance. The pay was $75,000, and the work fascinated me. I called my parents about the offer. Translation software? Elena, that sounds very niche, my father said. Listen, I have to go. Your mother and I are planning Gabriella's engagement party. You'll be there, right? Gabriella wasn't even engaged yet. I moved to San Francisco and threw myself into Global Connect. The company was small, 15 people, but everyone was brilliant and passionate. We were breaking down language barriers in real-time communication, capturing meaning and cultural context. I worked 16-hour days, refining algorithms, testing translations. My team grew from just me to 5 people, then 10. The software got better. We attracted investors, tech blogs, licensing interest. 2 years in, I was promoted to Chief Linguistics Officer with a significant raise. I was making $150,000 a year. I called my parents. Mom, I got promoted to Chief Linguistics Officer. That's nice, dear, she said, distracted. Did we tell you Gabriella just hit 2 million followers? She's becoming quite the influencer. I have to go, though. I'm meeting Gabriella to look at wedding venues. Nothing I did mattered to them. Nothing I achieved was impressive enough. I met Daniel when I was 27. He was a software engineer at Google, thoughtful and kind, with a dry humor that made me laugh. He was the first person who seemed genuinely interested in me. We dated for a year, and when he proposed on a hiking trail, I said yes immediately. I called my parents, hands shaking. Mom, Dad, I'm engaged. Daniel proposed. My mother's response was lukewarm. Oh, congratulations, Elena. Have you set a date? We're thinking next spring. Spring next year? That's when Gabriella is getting married. You'll have to choose a different season. We can't have 2 weddings so close together. Gabriella isn't even officially engaged yet. She will be any day now. You have to be reasonable. Gabriella's wedding is going to be the event of the season. We can't have yours competing. Competing? My wedding was a threat to Gabriella's spotlight. Fine. We'll get married in the fall. Fall is better anyway. More subtle. She hung up without saying she was happy for me. Daniel's parents were the opposite. They threw us an engagement party, took me dress shopping, made me feel valued. For the first time, I felt like I mattered to someone's parents. Just not my own. I sent my parents a formal invitation 6 months before the ceremony with a personal note. Mom and Dad, it would mean the world to me if you could be there. I know we've had our differences, but you're my parents and I love you. Please come. They never RSVP'd. 2 months before my wedding, I called my mother and refused to be brushed off. Mom, I need to know if you're coming. I need a final head count. Long pause. Elena, honey, Gabriella's engagement party is the same month. It's going to be huge and we're so involved. Your father is paying for everything. We've already committed to being here for that. The engagement party is 3 weeks after my wedding. You could come to both. It's not just the party. There are so many preparations. And honestly, we'd be spread too thin. Gabriella's engagement is a major moment for our family. And my wedding isn't? You've always been more independent, Elena. You don't need us the way Gabriella does. I didn't need them because they'd never been there. So you're not coming. We'll try to send a gift. We're very happy for you, sweetheart. Don't bother, I said and hung up. We got married on October 7th in a small ceremony overlooking the Pacific. 50 people came, all who truly cared. Daniel's parents walked me down the aisle together, both crying. Everyone celebrated with genuine joy. But I felt my parents' absence like a wound. Every empty seat where they should have been hurt. When Daniel's father toasted about how lucky Daniel was, I thought about my own father who couldn't be bothered to show up. They didn't send a gift. They didn't call. They didn't acknowledge my wedding at all. I saw on Instagram they'd posted photos from Gabriella's engagement party with ice sculptures and hundreds of guests. My mother's caption, celebrating our beautiful daughter's engagement. So blessed with our family. Our family. Meaning the three of them. I didn't exist. After the wedding, 3 months of silence from both sides. During that time, something shifted. I'd spent my life chasing their approval. But standing at my wedding without them, I realized their love was conditional and the conditions were impossible. I would never be Gabriella. I was done trying. At Global Connect, we developed something revolutionary. A neural network translation system handling real-time conversation in 60 languages with unprecedented accuracy. We'd spent 3 years developing it, and it was finally ready. The launch was massive. Tech companies immediately wanted licenses. We signed deals with video platforms, social media companies, business tools. Within 6 months, our user base hit 10 million. Revenue jumped from $5 million to $50 million yearly. Venture capital firms circled. We'd been bootstrapped, but with this growth, we needed serious investment. One firm offered $100 million for 25% of the company, valuing Global Connect at $400 million. We took it. Overnight, my stock options became worth $35 million. I was 28 and suddenly wealthier than I'd imagined. I bought the Ferrari 2 months later. A 2023 SF90 Stradale in Rosso Corsa. With upgrades, it came to $720,000. I didn't need a car that expensive, but this wasn't about practicality. This was about making a statement. In my parents' world, a Ferrari wasn't just a car. It was a declaration of arrival, of being someone who mattered. I'd spent my life not mattering. This car would make me impossible to ignore. The opportunity came when I received an invitation to Gabriella's engagement party. A formal card addressed to Elena Castellano and guest. Like some distant acquaintance. I RSVP'd yes. I didn't tell them anything about my life, my company, my success. Then I planned exactly how this would go. The party was Saturday evening at my parents' mansion. I spent the afternoon getting ready, putting on a Valentino dress, diamond earrings, looking successful and polished. Then I got in my Ferrari and drove from San Francisco to Newport Beach. The drive normally takes 6 hours. In that car, I made it in 4.5. The engine roared. People stared, pulled out phones at stoplights. This car demanded attention. I arrived at sunset, golden hour. I drove through their gated neighborhood slowly, watching heads turn. By the time I reached their house, dozens of cars lined the street. I parked directly in front, right in the circular driveway where everyone would see. The Ferrari looked like a jewel, catching sunlight, reflecting red across the white stone. I stepped out in my designer dress, and I saw people recognize me. Neighbors. My parents' friends. They stared. I walked to the front door with expensive champagne as a gift. The house was packed, music playing, caterers circulating. Everything elegant and perfect. I stepped inside. Within seconds, someone noticed. Elena? Elena Castellano. Mrs. Chin, my mother's friend. Her eyes went wide. Oh my goodness, is that you? You look stunning. My mother appeared, mid-laugh with guests. She froze. Her expression changed rapidly as she took in my appearance. Elena, she said, suddenly warm. Darling, you made it. I'm so glad. She rushed over and hugged me, something she hadn't done in years. Behind her, my father emerged with Gabriella and Dominic. They stopped and stared. We've been trying to reach you, my mother continued. You changed your number. We were so worried. You look wonderful. Is that Valentino? Yes. And is that your car out front? The blue Ferrari. Red Ferrari. Yes. Her eyes lit up with pride I'd never seen directed at me. A Ferrari SF90. Those are, what, $200,000. This model is $230,000 base. With options, closer to $720,000. The room went quiet. Everyone nearby listened. 700,000, my mother repeated loudly. My goodness, Elena. You must be doing very well. Come inside. We have so much to catch up on. She pulled me toward my father, Marcus, and Gabriella. My brother looked uncomfortable. Robert, look who's here, my mother said. Our Elena. Our Elena. Which is why I could afford the Ferrari. And the house in Pacific Heights. And the investment properties. Pacific Heights, my mother said. That's one of the most expensive. I know. I paid cash for a Victorian last year. For bedrooms, bay views. About $6 million. Gabriella gasped. My father recovered first. That's incredible. Why didn't you tell us? When? During the wedding you didn't attend? The calls you never returned. We would have loved to know, my mother said with tears. We're so proud of you. The lie was blatant. No, you didn't. You thought I was wasting my life. You were embarrassed by me. That's not true. Mom, you told Mrs. Chen I was still finding my way 2 years ago. I was at Microsoft making $200,000. Mrs. Chen looked uncomfortable. She remembered. We just wanted what was best for you, my father said. No. You wanted me to be like Marcus. When I didn't, you pretended I didn't exist. That's harsh, Marcus said. Is it? When's the last time any of you called me? Asked about my life? Treated me like family? No one answered. But now that you know I'm worth more than all of you combined, suddenly I'm included. Suddenly Mom's crying. Suddenly I'm Arlena. Money doesn't mean everything, Gabriella said. You're right. Love means everything. Support means everything. Being there means everything. Not one of you gave me that. My mother reached for my hand. Elena, please. We made mistakes. We're still family. I pulled away. No, we're not. Family shows up. You abandoned me on my wedding day because I wasn't impressive enough. We didn't abandon you, my father said weakly. Yes, you did. The only reason you're talking to me now is that car in your driveway. The party had stopped. Everyone watched this family implode. What do you want from us? Marcus asked. An apology? Fine. I'm sorry. I don't want your apology. I just wanted you to know I made it. Without you. Despite you. I wanted you to see what you threw away. I set the champagne on the entry table. $800 bottle. Congratulations, Gabriella. I turned to leave, but my mother grabbed my arm. Please don't go. We can talk. There's nothing to talk about. You made your choice 6 months ago. I'm making mine now. Elena, wait, my father said. Let's be reasonable. You're angry, but we're still your parents. We still love you. You love my money. You love my success. But you never loved me. I walked out, leaving them exposed and speechless. I got into my Ferrari and drove away. My phone started ringing before I reached the freeway. Mom, Dad, Marcus, Gabriella. I silenced each one. Then texts came. Mom, Elena, please come back. We need to talk. Dad, you're being dramatic. Come home so we can discuss this. Gabriella, you just humiliated Mom and Dad. What's wrong with you? I didn't respond. When I got back to my hotel, I cried. Not for them, but for the little girl who'd tried so hard to earn love that should have been given freely. The next morning, my mother's voicemail was cold. Veronica, what you did was unacceptable. You embarrassed this family. When you're ready to apologize, call us. Apologize. They wanted me to apologize for telling the truth. I blocked all their numbers. Over the next weeks, they tried other methods. Marcus showed up at my Seattle office. Security escorted him out. Natalie sent emails about family and forgiveness. I never responded. My parents sent a letter about disappointment, ending with, "We raised you better than this." That made me laugh. They didn't raise me at all. I had the letter framed as a reminder of why I built my company. 3 months later, Daniel and I were at dinner when my phone rang. Unknown Pasadena number. Elena, this is Mrs. Chin. I wanted to apologize for years of watching your parents treat you differently and never saying anything. What you said was brave and true. I was stunned. Thank you. Your parents are telling people you cut them off over money. That you're angry they won't invest. I wanted you to know people are talking. Of course. They were rewriting history. Let them talk. The people who matter know the truth. I'm telling people the truth. Several of us remember your wedding, your mother's excuses. We remember. After hanging up, Daniel took my hand. You okay? Yeah, I actually am. For the first time, I wasn't hoping for their approval. I'd built my own life, found my own family. Their opinion didn't matter. 6 months later, my company went public. The IPO was massively successful. Shield Tech was valued at $400 million. My net worth jumped to over $180 million. The tech press covered it extensively. My mother sent a congratulations card. Generic message, her signature. No apology. Just congratulations on your success. I threw it away. A year later, Marcus called. Ronnie, please don't hang up. I'm getting divorced. And I needed to tell someone. Am I your sister? You didn't treat me like one. I know. I was horrible. I was jealous. You were smarter, more creative, more driven. You loved what you did. I became a doctor because they wanted it. Watching you succeed despite them made me realize how much I've wasted trying to please people who can't be pleased. Silence. I'm sorry for everything. For making you feel small, for going along with their treatment, for not standing up for you. Could we try to be actual siblings? I thought about it. Part of me wanted to refuse. But Marcus had been trapped too, just differently. Maybe. But it'll take time. You have to show up consistently. I will. I swear. Over the next year, Marcus did. He called weekly, visited Seattle, went to therapy. Slowly, we built something real. My parents never apologized. They sent cards, generic and impersonal. They told people I was too busy to visit. Gabriella remained loyal to them, sending messages about forgiveness. She didn't understand. 2 years later, James and I had a baby. Claire, named after my best friend. I didn't tell my parents. They found out from someone else and sent a gift. Congratulations. We'd love to meet our granddaughter. I donated the outfit and threw away the card. Claire is 6 months old now, surrounded by love. James's family adores her. Marcus visits regularly, working to be a good uncle. She'll never know what it's like to beg for love from people who should give it freely. Do I regret cutting off my parents? Sometimes I grieve what could have been. But I don't regret the choice. They taught me family isn't about blood. It's about showing up, celebrating each other, love without conditions. They ignored my wedding because I wasn't successful enough. They remembered I existed when they saw my Ferrari because suddenly I was worth their time. But by then, it was too late. I'd learned I didn't need them. That $700,000 card didn't buy their love. Nothing could. But it bought me one perfect moment of watching them realize exactly what they'd thrown away. And sometimes, that's enough. Have you ever had to walk away from family members who only valued you for what you could give them? Share your story in the comments below. Hit like if this story resonated with you, and subscribe for more real stories about family dynamics, setting boundaries, and discovering your own worth. Remember, sometimes the best thing you can do is stop waiting for people to see you and start building a life where you're already seen, already valued, already enough.